Testing. 1, 2, 3,
Um,
testing.
Sorry. Okay, I'll be honest. I kind of walked away from the mic for a second.
Jim's still talking. I'm out.
God damn it, Jim! Screw you, man, for interrupting me, for interrupting you.
No. I was listening. I've got my wireless headphones. I just walked out to go grab a soda.
I just want a soda, man. I'm just gonna let Jim go at it. Fuck it, I'm out.
Screw this.
I literally heard you like segueing back to me. I'm like, no! I ran back inside so fast.
I expected Jim's rant to be longer, like it always is.
That's really funny.
So,
I hear maxi skirts
I
are
got
super
shorts.
comfortable. Are
they're
they?
the best thing ever.
Because I'm not a big skirt or dress girl,
Me
but
neither.
I hear like the best things about maxi skirts.
Oh my god!
Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Guess what's not related to Star Wars yet?
Fake it,
I-
stop.
No, it totally is. Queen Amidala.
Oh my
We'll
God.
do
Jordan needs to
something.
help me with this.
I
Okay,
got you.
help me.
I got you.
Where
got
can I
you.
get a seat?
I'm just asking you a question about maxi skirts. I don't wear skirts.
So,
I don't like them. So
I don't either. I don't like dresses. I'm not big on all of that. Maxi skirts are the greatest thing, especially when it's like 100 and some odd degrees outside. They're fantastic.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. Now we can continue on Star Wars.
I'm gonna cut all of that out of the podcast, by the way.
Well, I'm gonna pull it, TJ.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Shifty Key Podcast. I am Luis, aka Spartan Sloth, and today we have...
Jem Servac is back. Ah, I know, you're all excited.
Yeah.
Shut
Go
up,
away.
Luis. And you
And
too, Vic.
You have me, TJ.
Vic.
Oh, I thought I heard it was Jim, TJ, Lewis, and me, and then our guest. I didn't know.
But Jim
What?
introduced himself.
What?
So
Or Luis
Hi.
introduced himself.
Wow.
it's me, person who isn't paying attention because I'm busy running our social media stuff right now. Sorry.
And I'm Jordan, LovelySins again.
She's back, apparently. I missed her last week because
Yeah.
I wasn't here. It's completely my fault.
Bitch.
Good job. Thanks.
She
don't know what
is,
I'm
just so
supposed to
everybody knows, she may be my favorite person on the Rooster Teeth website as far as Star Wars fans goes. I can't say whether she is or not because Vic might kill me if I admit to the truth.
Well,
Fuck
Fuck you,
win.
Jim!
why would I be not your favorite? It's disappointing.
I'm not saying that you're not my favorite.
Lies.
This
No.
better, this better end
totally
into a
are.
three-way love triangle lightsaber battle at RTX.
Whoa.
Okay, let's do it then.
I mean,
This should be interesting.
I have my Jedi cosplay just about ready.
Yeah, I'm too bored to cosplay anything.
Yeah, that's
Go to
not
the
happening.
store, grab like a $4 lightsaber toy.
Oh, dude, I do that. Oh, I think I lost my only lightsaber toy. It was purple and I loved it.
Just grab
It's
a
really sad.
broomstick and paint it. Should be enough for the RTX to...
Yeah, and then hit Jim really, really hard over the head.
Wow.
We will have problems. I mean, if you've listened to any of the prior podcasts, Jordan, you know that Vic and I are going to battle when we
Well,
meet.
You know, you do realize we're sharing a house together. This is
I
gonna be
mean,
really bad.
let
Yeah.
the strongest survive.
Let me get my camera ready for that.
It's gonna be awesome.
After the RTX weekend, they're gonna come to clean the house and be like, "What the fuck happened in here? Scorch marks
Right.
all over the walls. All the furniture's messed up. I mean, this
Wasn't
chair's
it.
cut in half."
This will be the first time we don't refund a safety deposit for this house.
You know, I really want
Somebody
that
force choked
$500
the
back,
maid.
though. What?
Is that
I want that $500 back, so we better not destroy the house.
I think we should fight in the yard.
Take the lightsaber battle outside, kids.
Oh, we will. There'll be mimosas involved in everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I still
Oh.
want to be there.
We got to do our evolutions, remember? We got the evolutions drinks.
Oh yeah, we got.
I still got that. Still got
we
that.
gotta do mimosas. We gotta do beer.
You guys
We
better
gotta do vodka.
Oh, when you guys are there, we should do like a Google Plus hangout or something on the nights
Oh
or
Yeah.
god.
something.
Oh god.
That'd be awesome.
Please.
So me
Oh,
and Luis can
God.
feel like we're there.
I
Like
already
with the
told
vlogs.
Tyler that I'd put him on like a GoPro or something and strap him to my head so you can experience being there.
Luis, we should ask Tyler if we can share his GoPro.
Yeah. Or if we can mount a GoPro on Tyler's computer so we can see.
Absolutely terrible. So what are we talking about today? It's Star Wars, right?
Star Wars
May the
Day,
4th.
because this will be a week late for May the 4th, but we were recording on May the 3rd, so this is our May the 4th celebration.
What matters
We're gonna make
is
it work.
intention.
And I have sent out things on both our Twitter and our group site asking for questions, and we'll be talking. We should definitely talk about the cast, which I'll pull up right now. Actually, the fact that all the EU is now invalid, which we talked a little bit about last week.
I
still
wasn't here for
don't
that, so
get if yeah, we can have this discussion again so you guys can explain that to me better because I still don't get it. What is no longer canon is like everything but the movies, and that includes the cartoons. Like
I think the
as
cartoons
not
are
I've
canon.
heard-
canon.
Yeah,
Or
they've said
it's
that the
just Return
television
of the
shows are canon.
Jedi, like after Return of the Jedi.
So it's like all the movies and then the TV shows, which include Rebel, the new Rebel show, and then the Clone Wars. But like books and games are not anything involving the extended universe is not canon anymore. So like pre and post Star Wars, not canon
That's
anymore.
That's really
dumb.
stupid.
I can
Why
pull
would
up that
why
too.
would anybody want to write any more stories in the universe then?
I
It's
think
like, oh, doesn't count anymore. Might as well be writing fan fiction.
I think honestly, I think as we said last week, I think one of the reasons why they did it was to give them a lot of room to play around in because there is so much of a strict EU, especially post Star Wars. I mean, I don't think it helped that George Lucas originally said he was never going to make a 7, 8, and 9, which allowed people to be like, if you're not going to make a 7, 8, and 9, we're going to do whatever the hell we want. We're going to create a universe, extended universe that like we want because we're never actually going to get it physically, like in the form of a film. And that happened, and it expanded so much to the point where the filmmakers now have no really big choices except like pick up all entire new characters and explore a storyline not even close to the original characters, or just say invalid the entire extended universe and say like we're starting over. Do I agree with it? I don't know. I'm still very like up in the air about whether I agree with it or not, but I don't think it helped that George Lucas originally stated like the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy is all what's going to be of Star Wars, and then suddenly Disney buys out Star Wars, and not even 2 days later, they're saying they're making episodes 7 through 9.
yeah.
I think I gotta say, when I heard the news, I was disappointed, like a lot, because if they wanted to cancel all the extended universe after Return of the Jedi, I would understand because that's the time period they're dealing with for the movies. It sucks, but I would understand. But they're canceling everything. It's like the old Republic and the old Republic and the even older Republic,
Pre-Republic.
time periods. Yeah, it's like the Star Wars Big Bang, whatever. It's all canceled. Like those
That
characters
is pretty
pretty much
bullshit.
don't even exist anymore.
Yeah,
It
well, that's
sucks because like, man, T3 and 4, and Kreia and Mira, the fanfiction we never found, and Kyle fucking Katarn, you know.
right. Well, uh, just as a primer for everybody, anybody who wants to know, EU stands for Expanded Universe because it expands on the Star Wars universe. Um, I I can understand why they would do that for anything post Episode 6, because they can't really try to work around what is effectively a bunch of video games and novels. There's just too much to consume without causing too many conflicts. Um, I mean, even just like the Yuuzhan Vong timeline that they go through, which is like I think 20 years after the movies, is an epic of 19 novels. It's and it's like they just can't work around something like that when it's that big. So I can understand everything after the movies. I mean, even George Lucas himself, though, quite some time back, said that he is aware that the EU exists, but he cannot take it into consideration when he's making something for Star Wars. So the EU fandom, they made two types of canons, what they call G canon, which is George Lucas canon. That is, whatever George Lucas puts into the movies or the TV shows is the gospel, and that's it, period. The end. There's no arguing it. And if it overwrites something that's written in the books, then that particular part of the book or that entire book, whatever the case may be, is you just kind of got to throw it out the window as not being canon for Star Wars. Otherwise, they have what's called in canon, which is anything that's written in the novels is truth as far as they are concerned when it comes to the Star Wars universe. That's because it's been the same publishing company who's handled all the Star Wars books, so they have their own continuity and their own timeline of how things play out. So even when they bring new authors in, they can say, all right, you can do this, but you can't do that, and everybody kind of works within those constraints. So I can understand post episode 6, but I mean, as Luis was just saying, anything that's Knights of the Old Republic or the Old Republic, or you go back to the Dawn of the Jedi days, which is brand new, that stuff's just coming out. That's it's all just out the window. It sucks. Especially me, because I've read so much of it. I've got tons of books and comics, so it kind of saddens me.
I don't understand why they would throw out the pre-Star Wars Episode 1 stuff, especially since that's not really an interest film-wise. People are interested in the post-Star Wars, post with Luke building up the Republic again, how he does that, but I don't
it's really about the Skywalker legacy.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're throwing out, the Skywalker legacy did not exist until Anakin, until he showed up. There is no Skywalker legacy until that point, so I don't understand why they're throwing out the pre-stuff, unless, they did say they were going to release an independent film every, in between the trilogy, each of the trilogy films. That was something that's been talked about and written about. Right? Yeah, standalones.
Spin-offs, whatever.
So unless they're, and the two people, there's, 3 characters they've thrown around. It's been Yoda, Han, and Jabba. Those are the 3 characters
Boba.
they've been. Oh, and
Jabba.
Boba. Yeah, was a Jabba.
Who cares
one.
about Jabba?
Yeah,
But those are the 4 characters that have been thrown around. So
what do you think the action sequence of that movie would be? Jabba slowly slugging his
Yes.
way across the
Yes.
Salacious
to get to the
Crumb.
toilet.
It's like I watched the shit out of a trilogy with Salacious Crumb.
But again, are they throwing out the pre-episode 1 stuff because of these standalone films? They haven't been confirmed or anything. Everybody's kind of, the buzz right now is episode 7 because of the cast list, and now they're filming and everything. So that's been what the buzz has been about. But did they throw out pre-Star Wars, the pre-Star Wars EU because of those standalone films? Because they wanted a freedom of playing around with Han and Yoda, and because Yoda's 900 years old. You could do anything with that film.
Yeah.
So is that why they're doing it? Are they going to follow a really young Yoda first entering, becoming a Padawan, when he's 50 or whatever, and you could cover so much.
Young for Yoda.
Yeah, you could cover so much of Yoda.
50-year-old youngling.
900 years before Star Wars Episode 1. And 50-year-old Yoda is probably a pretty spry guy. Episode 2, he was pretty spry. So,
Yeah.
And he was probably fucking 845 at that time.
850. Well, they would have to, I suspect, to keep it interesting, they would have to do something involved with the Sith. The problem is that, they even say it in episode 3, when they're on the gunship, and Yoda is saying that perhaps the prophecy was misunderstood. I mean, there's been 1,000 years of peace since the last time they saw the Sith in the Republic, and the catalyst for that was what was called the New Sith Wars, which went on for several hundred years across the galaxy, and then the Sith were finally defeated by the Jedi, and it was after that that you had 1,000 years of peace, and the Sith more or less didn't exist. So, I mean, that's in the movies. So, like, even if they went and they introduced Yoda as like a young character, I feel like they can't do anything with the Sith because everybody's supposed to be oblivious to them. You know, like they don't exist anymore. The Jedi won. That's why they were able to be fooled in Episode 3 or the prequels rather. So, I don't know. What do you think, Jordan? Do you think Jabba would be a good main character?
I mean, I would be interesting to see like Han's story or Yoda's story, but yeah, like you said, there was 1,000 years of peace. So how can you really do much with it if there's
Bounty
no?
hunters?
Yeah, I guess, but only
For
to an
Han,
ex-
for sure.
Yeah, for Han, yeah, but for Yoda, I mean, what? Yoda's a Jedi. What? I mean, what do you? How do you?
He
I don't know.
becomes
I don't even like.
he becomes a glorified diplomat. No lightsaber action.
I disagree with them getting rid of like the pre-EU stuff. I can understand all the post stuff so that yes, as you guys said, so they can work with it's a lot easier for them to play around with the Star Wars story because there's so much out there that there's guaranteed to be conflicts with stuff if they don't get rid of it. The pre stuff I don't understand. That makes no sense to me.
Well,
It could to me 10 that's where I just think it's going to end up trying to go into more of a money grab situation, and that's where I think that Disney's just going to be like, we're going to try and beat this horse until it's dead, and then well after it's dead to get all of the money out of it.
Milk it till it's dry.
Yeah.
my thing is like, you know how we're talking about how are they going to create like a Yoda story with the 1,000 years of peace, but they threw out that 1,000 years of peace. Technically, that 1,000 years of peace never existed. Like
What do you
But
mean?
they said it in
everything
the
we
movies.
know.
No, but that was in Episode 3, though. Yoda
that was
specifically said that.
1, 2, and 3
Oh,
actually.
that's
They
true.
keep pressing the button.
Right, because
Wow.
this is the golden age of the Jedi right now, which
I'm a
is
fucking
a
idiot.
term that was quoted by the EU, to be exact, and George Lucas said it in one of the production films for Episode 2, because he said, you know, we're gonna do this big battle scene with all the Jedi, because there's so many Jedi, is because it's we're coming to the end of the golden age of the Jedi. Like he took a term created in the EU and put it in the movies, and that's something that George Lucas did. Is that he took EU elements and put them in the movies. Like Coruscant, for example, the first time Coruscant is ever mentioned is in the comic book series Tales of the Jedi, which is 50 or so years before Knights of the Old Republic, and you know before Revan and all that. So that's when Coruscant is explained. It's like it's the capital of the Republic and it's a giant city world. And Episode 1, I mean, George Lucas is right there. He's like, we're going to Coruscant. It's a giant city world. It's the capital of the Republic. I mean, you know, George Lucas was aware of the EU and there were key things in it. And that was his nod to fans. And I don't like that. It seems on the surface, and we won't know until the movies come out, I guess, but it seems initial knee-jerk reaction, Disney's just kind of pissing on that, going, meh, we're going to do it the Disney way.
Well,
No,
also
that's
too,
exactly what they're doing.
well, I mean, we're making a lot of speculation on a film like we don't know about.
Right, nobody knows
Like
about.
all
True.
we know is the cast, and apparently it's even been there's speculation that the movie centers around Han, but other than that, like we're not gonna know anything until like the first trailers come out. But even then, we're not gonna know anything until the first films are released, and we might not know. Like it may turn out that Disney does do a nod toward the fans and does like acknowledge that there's a huge fan presence, because I think they'd shoot themselves in the foot if they didn't.
They're going to
I
shoot
mean,
themselves in the face if they fuck fans over.
yeah, I mean they already do so
Isn't that
much
kind of what they're
to
already doing?
ode the fans, like Star Wars weekends at Disneyland. They've been doing that for years. That's been a huge nod to the fans. Like they're doing stuff that does like acknowledge there's a huge fan presence, and that like even George Lucas said himself, like one of the reasons why he loves Star Wars and why he loves doing like bringing all these TV shows in and movies is because every time he does that, he introduces a new generation of Star Wars fans, which is one of the reasons why it's lasted 30-40 years, is because he is bringing in the fans, and the fans get pulled into the universe and pulled into the story, and they fall in love with it. And I said this last week, but there was one comment that said, like, we'll never know. Like, every fan has their own canon. Every fan has their own imagination of what the universe and what the story looks like. And, like, prime example is Who Shot First, Han or Greedo. Like, that's a prime example. People have their own view of the universe, and we're not going to know anything about how they're going to treat the fans and how they're going to keep the fans attracted to the show and the films until we see the 7th movie. Because the 7th film, that's going to be the film that either completely ruins the new trilogy or completely makes the new trilogy. And Mark Hamill has been tweeting that he loves the film, he loves the cast, he loves the script. I mean, I don't know if that's much to go on, but the fact that Mark Hamill is turning around and saying, like, I'm like the script, I love the script, I love the actors that they picked, I think that's important to remember, because he is another actor who's very much connected with the fans and does, like, all of these things that connects himself with the fans.
That's true.
2
I mean-
cents on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Still, I am afraid. Some days I feel like I'm learning how it feels to walk the path of the dark side through fear, because I'm like, man, I don't know how these movies are gonna turn out, and then I start getting angry because of stuff like, oh, they canceled the expanded universe. And I'm like, wait, no, that's what Darth Sidious wants.
Don't do it, Anakin. She's not dead yet, man.
And by the way, I just thought of something. The movie with Yoda might not have Sith Lords, but they can probably do something like go for the terrorist approach. Like, oh, there's this group of people who are threatening the Republic somehow. You know, like, fuck it, pirates, space pirates. And they stole a doomsday weapon, and now we need the help of the Jedi. And, oh yeah, there's this one new kid called Yoda, talks funny and stuff. He can help us, you know, and then the movie's about Yoda.
Glorified
But
diplomat.
oh, come on, he's more than that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I don't
but
know. I don't.
am eager to see a movie with Boba Fett. Man, that would be awesome.
Well, I hope they don't. If they do something with Boba Fett, I hope they stick true to the idea that Boba Fett's issue is not with Han Solo. It's always been with the Jedi. I mean, that's why Boba Fett's a pretty anti-Jedi character throughout the entirety of the Clone Wars series, which I'm catching up on right now. I mean, he even says it, and again, it's a moot point now, but he even says it in the expanded universe. I mean, he tells Han Solo when he lets Han go one day, he's like, "You're letting me go? I thought you hated me." He's like, "No," he goes, "I don't hate you. I hate the Jedi, and you always around Jedi." So it's like, I hope they stick to that idea, you know. I mean, and Boba Fett's supposed to be super badass, so it would be pretty cool if we could see him kill off some Jedi.
Oh, Boba Fett.
so I was thinking, and I think I just read an article that may have sort of said it, but have they just said that all pre-existing extended universe is non-canon, or all extended universe in general? Because I thought they, because I think that means that there could still be new extended universe written.
Well, sure, but it'd have
Yeah,
to get the
they-
Disney seal of approval, so which
Yeah,
means
they-
that anything that's not Disney proved is going to be pointless.
They already
Well,
like
there's
hired.
always had to be an approval, you know.
They already hired a couple writers to write like new extended universe stuff, because everything that, like, the Thrawn series and all those are now under Legends. So, like, they're not completely throwing them out. They're, like, acknowledging the existence of this whole EU canon, but they're throwing it under a legendary thing, like, which I think is kind of cool.
It's like
It's
Star
all
Wars
Reggies.
Infinities. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
alternate
here,
reality.
It's a legend. I mean, yeah, it can be an alternate reality, but they've got Okay, here it is. On the screen, the first new canon to appear will be Star Wars Rebels, which actually looks like a decent show. In print, the first new books to come from this creative collaboration include novels from Del Rey Books, first to be announced, Jack John Jackson Miller is writing a novel that precedes the events of Star Wars Rebels and offers insights into a key character's backstory, which input directly from executive producers. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I read the same article.
See, but still, in this article, they don't make it clear that whether they're going to discard the, like, quote unquote,
What it
discard the
what it kind of
extended
seems to
universe
me is that
prior to the first episode, like prior to the Phantom Menace.
it almost seems to me that what they're going to do with all of the stuff after Return of the Jedi is pretty much gone. But all the stuff before it, I'm thinking they're going to keep it as canon in quotation marks, but they can go
Yeah.
back and change it whenever they want.
Yeah, seems that way.
I mean, I can
Like-
see them
Well,
doing
at
something
least-
like in the 1,000 years before the movies, because there's just like nothing in the EU about that. Aside from the very beginning of that 1,000 years, it's Darth Bane and his apprentice, so you get like the first 20 years of that 1,000-year gap of Star Wars history, until a few years before Episode 1, when it's like, Obi-Wan training under Qui-Gon as a very young Jedi Padawan. So, I mean, all of that timeline is just open, and you can do with it whatever you want. The problem is that there's no antithesis to our heroes, the Sith, as opposed to the Jedi. There's no Empire to the Republic and that kind of thing. So, if there's anything that goes on, it's all going to be a bunch of small scale stuff. It's
Yeah.
no if there's
galactic war for
right, if there's not that epicness to it, then there's something that's for Star Wars. Star Wars has always been like epic, about the epicness of it. So there's going to be something missing.
It probably wouldn't be a good place to go for movies, but maybe for independent writers or somebody to
Sure.
go in there and just write, small scale stories based in the Star Wars universe, but pretty much not related at all to the main story. Like
Right.
let's say you wanted to write a story about some random bounty hunter that everybody could grow to love, and you could place him in that time period that nobody knows nothing about.
Like Cad Bane. I fell in love with Cad Bane. I think it was so
Cad
awesome
Bane
for the
was,
show.
like,
Oh
so
my
awesome.
god. His voice is great. Whoever does him just does a phenomenal job.
Oh, in the Clone Wars,
Yeah.
he's pretty badass.
He has nothing but win. Like he is just liquid badass, seriously.
He's pretty awesome. There are
Like
days
a-
where I'm like, I actually want you to beat the Jedi.
Right? You could just beat him
It's
just this once.
It's
Yeah.
like I either want you to beat them or I want you to die so I can stop rooting for you.
I want to stop loving you. I can't quit you, Cad Bane.
I just started that show actually.
Oh man.
Great
Are you in season 1? Where you at?
Yeah, I'm season 1.
Oh god, that blows because now I can't talk about season 2 or 3.
You
Well,
can
it
do
gets
whatever
better
you want. I'm
eventually.
binge watching tomorrow, so
Oh, okay, thank
Yeah,
God.
I've been
watching
so much Star Wars a couple months ago.
Yeah, I'm
By
on.
the way, oh sorry.
I'm on season 4 right now. I'm midway through. I just finished the episodes with the clones and the fucking asshole Jedi.
I
Oh, that
Sounds
guy.
so dirty.
I fucking hate that guy.
That no,
Are you sure
trust me.
you're
when
watching the Clone Wars
when
or
you
something
you-
else?
when you get to those, I think it's a 3-part episode, 3-part series, like story arc. You will be so angry with this guy by the end of it. You will just be like, I want
Yeah.
to. Oh my god, you will be.
That's
That was my second time watching that story arc, because I think on the original website I was watching it on screwed up the seasons, so I was watching it on Netflix and I ended up rewatching the story arc. But it gets you so wound up, it gets you so angry. At least for
I
me, it
love
got me so
story
angry.
hate
arcs like
ca-
that.
I hate characters like that though. That like they're messing with your favorite character, and you know that your favorite character can't do anything about him, and you're just yelling at your screen like, "Somebody shoot this guy already!"
You
But that's
know he's a
what's
bad
great
guy.
about
Just
it.
kill him now.
Like I feel like every show I watch has one of those people at some point. It's so frustrating, especially when
is,
it's like
but,
a
like-
long run character. I'm glad that was only a 3-episode arc. I couldn't have stood to have that guy be in every single episode.
Go ahead, Jordan.
Characters like that, I love characters like that. Like they're frustrating as all hell, but that's what get you so invested in the show. And it's like, I can't wait to get to that, because I love being so invested in shows like that and actually feeling something for the characters, whether it be hatred or love or whatever. So, like, those kind of characters are so frustrating, but I love them so much.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to back up Jordan on that one
Yeah.
because I mean, I'm somebody I miss the characters that are just like straight up evil characters. You know, like I hate where TV shows they gotta make like the character like he's evil, but he's evil because he's a broken man and we gotta save him. No, fuck that. Just
No.
make him a bad guy. He's just
Like-
evil. You know, like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He's just an
Oh,
asshole.
Breakfast.
That or,
Fuck Joffrey. Fuck
or-
the game.
or oh, what's his name? He's in Sherlock.
Moriarty?
Yeah, Moriarty.
Yeah,
Oh
Moriarty.
my god, I hate
He isn't
him.
that frustrating. I
And
hated
I
him.
So-
don't even watch
Oh.
Sherlock. I know because of the original
epis-
stories. His like
Season finale of season 2, the episode,
No
the finale of
spoilers.
season 2.
I have not
Holy
seen season
crap!
2 yet.
I wanted to like walk up to him, punch him in the face, and tell him to leave Sherlock alone.
Leave him
Wait.
alone.
How many seasons have they come out with?
3.
They're
Oh,
on
never mind.
3 right
I've seen season 2. It's season 3 I
Yeah.
haven't seen.
I haven't seen season 3's not up on Netflix yet.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of season 3 when it came out, but my internet was being shit, so I haven't bothered. Because I
have-
load it like 30 minutes at a time.
I have episode 1 of season 3 on a flash drive. I just haven't watched it yet because I can't get my hands on the rest of it, so I don't want to watch the first episode
Yeah.
and be like,
You gotta binge watch it.
"What?"
I'm
Yeah.
with you on that one.
You know, Netflix has ruined that for everybody. Have to binge watch
Yeah.
everything. It's so
Yep.
frustrating waiting week to week.
That and like Merlin, with Merlin and like Doctor Who, it's all up on Netflix, so I binge watch, and then I'm like, that's why I'm very careful with Doctor Who, because I'm like, I don't want to end it and then have to sit, because now like that I binge watched through Game of Thrones and like watched it all, and like I'm caught up. Now I'm 2 episodes behind because I'm like, I don't want to wait. I'm just gonna sit around and wait for all these to come
You
out,
don't-
and then
I don't want to wait. I'm just
That-
gonna wait.
I don't want to
It's
wait, so I'm gonna
easier.
wait.
it's easier.
I'm gonna binge wait.
Hashtag
Exactly.
Vic Logic.
Vic logic totally makes sense. Don't make
I
fun of
Actually,
me.
honestly
Game of Thrones
100%
isn't-
agree with your logic.
I
Woohoo!
like
the same.
I like Game of
Hashtag
Thrones
woman
is
logic,
easier
how
to
about
wait
that?
for than other shows, in my opinion, because you don't have commercial breaks and it's a straight hour. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
That's true.
Still, I'd rather, because then I'm like sitting there going, I have to wait a week. And I sit, I get really angry, and then I'm like, damn it, watch it.
Well,
Damn it, I have to wait another week.
then
Fuck
you
this, I'm
then
out.
you then you still have to like binge watch 10 hours worth of video.
I am
You're
okay
basically
with
watching
that.
a 10-hour movie.
I'm
I-
so okay
I'm
with
okay
that.
with that.
I messed
See,
up so
Jordan
many
gets
homework
me.
assignments watching the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones before season 3 came out.
I get you 100% because I binge watched Doctor Who in a span of like 3 weeks,
I
which
really
I kind of hate because now
I hate-
kind of
I
hate.
kind of hate binge watching some stuff as like if it's really short, like I've been watching a lot of really short animes that I like and I'll binge watch them, so I'll finish them in like 2 days and be very sad by the end of it. Like I just finished an anime called Fate Zero on Netflix, which was pretty good. Found out that it's prequel.
I'm gonna re-rail us instead of derail us. I'm gonna re-rail us back onto Star
Derail.
Wars.
oh yeah.
As I wanted to talk about the
Forgot to
production
talk about
value of Clone
Russia.
Wars and like how it is as like a show. Like it's a lot of people think it's a kid show, including me. Like I was like, like I watched season 1 and I was like, it's kind of a kid show. It's a little cartoony. It's like I watched up season 1 and I was like, maybe it's a little too cartoony for me. Maybe a little too like child story, life lessons kind of thing. But I swear to you, season 2 like changes that like from the get-go. Immediately that all changes. Like I feel like in season 2 there is like people get shot and chopped in half and all sorts
know,
of craziness.
Even in season 1, when I was first watching it, I'm like, I don't remember watching stuff like this when I was a kid. Like watching stormtroopers literally just get shot and be dead. And like,
Yeah.
usually that stuff would be like off camera. It's like, oh no, it's off camera. That means he's not dead, right?
Right,
No.
it's implied instead of
Yeah,
shown.
It's stuff like Pew,
Yeah, but
pew,
they'll
boom.
show it. They'll
Oh,
like
what
show a
happened?
stormtrooper's head get chopped off, and then the helmet just rolls all over the ground.
Right.
That
I mean,
makes me
it's
super happy to hear because the reason I didn't watch it for the longest time was because I was afraid it was a kid show. I'm like, this is gonna be
Me too.
stupid. They're totally gonna ruin Star Wars. Like, I'm not gonna watch this. I refuse. And everybody's been talking about it a lot lately, so I was like, okay, I have to check it out.
It's
So I was
so
really
good.
scared it was gonna be like a super kid childish thing. But hearing that people's heads are getting cut off actually makes me, in a weird way, very happy because
let me
it totally
And it would be
destroy it for me.
hypocritical,
Yeah.
like if it was a kid show, because like Anakin kills children on episode 3. So if they try to make a kid show, it would end badly. Like
Though, to be
Right.
honest, I think the only reason they get away with it is because they are a bunch of faceless clone troopers most of the time, and also they're just robots.
Yeah.
So they
Let me-
I
let me
think
clarify.
ethics.
Let me clarify this a little bit, in that it has like an adult air about it. Like, this show very much talks about the horrors of war and how bad it is, and what individual freedoms and liberties are about, and why democracy is important as opposed to, under a dictatorial rule of the separatists or something like that. So there's a lot of that theme in it, and there's a lot of talk about death and dying and killing people. Like, they don't shy away from that. They're like, oh, blah blah blah, his son got killed, and it's like, man, like, is that okay to say to 4-year-olds? Like, should we be that direct about it?
I
But
actually really like all the stormtrooper stories. Not
Yeah.
stormtrooper, clone trooper stories.
Yeah.
Like, is it right that I should be following orders?
let me
question?
dot this real quick. Let me just finish up my point real quick and say that
Alright.
there is violence in the show, but it is no worse than the violence than you see in the movies. Like, I don't know, looking back on it, if I would call the movies like kid shows or kid movies, quote unquote, even though they're only like PG rated, except for
I
3,
still
which
would
is
not.
PG-13. Yeah, like, I don't know if I would really call them kids movies. The violence is no worse than what you see in the movies, but the undertones of the story are very, very adult. So, if there's any questions, if y'all have any concerns, May the 4th, go check it out. Now go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry, I had to finish up.
Did you guys hear what Vans are doing?
No.
They're releasing a line of Star Wars shoes.
Oh really?
What?
Oh,
I'm so
yee.
excited. I want in on this, like, right now.
Wow.
Please, I want Vans. I love Vans. Oh, I wear them all the time. I love them. In fact, they're releasing Star Wars shoes. Oh, I need a job.
I can become a fan of Vans right now for that. I would.
I
It's
need
a
a
dream come
job.
true for me. I'm so happy.
Oh my god, when are they coming out? Let me look.
I think sometime this summer.
Oh, I want them.
Have they showed any?
I want them.
Oh my god, I want them.
Shoes.
I'm not. I usually hate. I hate shoes, but
Star Wars Vans, you can't hate that.
I
And
can't
if you do,
hate
you're a
this.
terrorist.
I love your
Oh
meme,
my
Vic.
god. Look at these. They're beautiful. I want all of them.
Is it
well,
just
I've-
me, or
Oh, that's your
that one
Shmee?
is like Yoda
It's Yoda
in
on
the
flowers.
middle of a bunch of flowers?
Yeah, I don't get that.
What the fuck?
Somebody was smoking some weed.
But I
Oh,
like
did
the.
you see the
Just blaze.
shoelaces are like lightsaber hilts?
Oh, cool.
What?
Those are
Yeah,
nice. but-
As if I wasn't sold already.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I
I'm-
want the.
Oh
I want
god.
the stormtrooper
The
one.
Boba
I
Fett
want
one.
the
Wait, there's a
the
stormtrooper
original
one?
one. And
Oh,
then
What are you looking at? Link this to us, please.
it's-
Oh, yeah,
you have to
it's-
look at the
it's in the
slideshow.
link.
Link it, God.
It's linked.
Where? There it
Jordan
is.
linked it, and then you have to click on the slideshow. And if you go over like 3 photos, there's a photo of every single one. They have like one with the original poster that are slip-ons, and then they have high top ones, which I don't like high top shoes. I think they're stupid looking. But like they're normal looking shoes. They have stormtroopers. They have Boba Fett. It's either Boba or Jabba. They
It's
have one of
Boba.
the Fetts, and then they have another one that's like 80s looking.
I just don't get the one.
God,
with
what
Yoda and
noise.
the flowers.
That's me. Yeah, I don't get that one.
I
either,
like
but
the
they're kinda-
stormtrooper.
So that's
one
my
and the
seizure
Boba one.
noise.
I didn't say it was my seizure noise.
That's my Star Wars fan seizure noise.
It is my Star Wars. Stop making fun of me. You
You sound like
You're
Boss.
just jealous. You're just
I
all
like Star
jealous.
Wars. The
Ow.
Star Wars shoes.
Dude, that was super loud.
The stormtrooper.
I hate you all. I'm just gonna leave. Fuck
No,
you
don't
all.
leave me here with them, please.
Don't leave me here with them. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Okay, I'll stay for Jordan.
Win.
Woohoo! I mean, us girls gotta stick
GG.
together, right?
Exactly.
Especially if there's like there's not enough girls on the internet.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, as far as we know, Vic might very well be a 50-year-old dude. So,
You know
I didn't
what?
say that, Vic. I did not
The-
say that.
the-
There's a line and I don't cross it, and you know that.
The
I've
channel
seen
of
pictures. You
Draven.
are a lovely lady.
The channel of Draven. They've all decided I'm a boy. They've all decided I'm a dude. They're
well,
like,
that's gotta be.
there's no girls on the internet. Vic's a dude. I wonder how Alex is gonna take this. I'm like, Jesus Christ, people. Why?
Look, I don't want to say that I know that Vic's a girl, but
I am not. You're very welcome.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I don't want to say that I know that Vic's a girl, but you know, I know.
You know.
Let's
Dude,
just say we have seen pictures and we know Vic's a girl.
Snapchat
Or, you know,
of
it's-
myself and
I was
just-
about to say, I don't know what pictures she is saying, y'all. I'm not even admitting that she sent me pictures. Let's just be clear. Just saying, I have no doubts, and I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. Vic did send me some very detailed penis drawings once.
This again.
Yes, I did. I
So
did
you think-
send
You think they
Detail
might have been
penis.
selfies?
yeah, really bad selfies of my dick. It's one-dimensional.
It's two-dimensional, Vic. I mean, you gotta have length and width. You know.
One
Okay,
dimensional,
two
and she's colored outside the lines.
It's two-dimensional and like not even proportional.
It's 8.5 by 11, college ruled.
Wait, how did we move from Star Wars to penises? Like, how
You
did
know,
this
like-
Because
happen?
y'all said girls have to stick together, and that there were no girls on the internet, and Vic immediately went into, I swear I'm not a dude.
I swear I'm not a dude. I swear to God, I'm not a dude. Okay.
Man,
um,
I'm really
Is this where
considering
you say
whether
yet?
I answer Vic's question about how Alex would take that. You know, the info that you can probably be a dude. But I'm struggling because it's so inappropriate.
Everything's inappropriate.
It's the internet. I mean, what about the internet is appropriate?
Yeah.
It can be.
Jordan's exactly right.
There's no censorship on the internet. That's what I love about it.
Let's get back on track. Do we want to
That
talk
was a
about
soap
the cast list? How do you guys feel about the release of episode 7's cast list? What do you think? Yays, nays? Did you know Bill Weasley's in it?
Yeah, I heard that. I have
I
no.
would-
I had to look up most of the actors because I don't know most of them by their names.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
same
like-
thing.
I know that the original 4 are gonna be there, so you know that's good.
They're
The
about.
original like
I-
6.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
want a
there-
character
there's
list,
also
not a
3PO
cast
and
list. In all
R2.
honesty.
I'd agree with you on that, but I guess it's still too early for them to be talking about characters and stuff.
I feel
Oh,
like I know what's gonna
Did
happen.
they actually hire Obi-Wan's daughter / granddaughter?
You know what?
That's-
What's
That's what I
interesting?
feel is gonna happen.
What's interesting is that she was they were talking about her, and they released the name of her, who this girl is and stuff, and what she was, and where she worked and where she was from and stuff like that. And now she's not on the cast list. The only female who was recently on the cast list was a woman named Daisy something, and
Daisy Ridley.
she's not the
Well-
the one
Daisy
who was
Ridley?
yeah.
Yeah,
the
that's
one-
her.
Daisy.
So-
The
What?
one who was
So you
slated
think-
to play Obi-Wan's daughter, quote unquote, was not on the cast list.
You think maybe they were like they were talking to her, they were like, "Oh, you could play this role." Then right before they release it, they're like, "Yeah, the internet hates you. You're fired."
I was about to say,
It's-
the fans were not appreciative, so.
It's either that her character doesn't have a big enough role for them to throw her in the cast list, or they rewrote the script and wrote her out because there was such a negative reaction.
Yeah,
because
the
you know,
huge backlash from the Star Wars community.
because
Yeah.
it makes sense for them to kind of like throw little things out there into the PR wise. It makes sense for them to be like release some stuff about the film just to see fans' reactions, because like I feel like that's what people do, like, you know, with the Xbox and PS3, they like throw out little bits and pieces about what's coming up, and then the fans and consumers react, and then they change it based on those reactions. And
Yeah, it's like, so
that's
we're
what it
thinking
seems like
about,
happens.
you know, putting Obi-Wan's daughter in it. No!
Maybe not the wisest
It's like,
decision.
hey guys, what do you think about Obi-Wan banging somebody? They're like, no,
Yeah, how
stop.
about Obi-Wan having a family? How about you jump into the Sarlacc pit? Yeah, I think we get the answer. By the way, kids, don't jump on the Sarlacc pit. It's dangerous, and it's going
Unless
to
you're Boba
digest
Fett.
you for...
Do it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you know.
Feed the Sarlacc, May the 4th.
Or don't, you know.
Mass suicide at the Sarlacc pit.
I didn't say I was going to feed the Sarlacc,
Headline.
but anybody else is free.
Free the Sarlacc. Free the Sarlacc.
How are you going to free the Sarlacc? He's stuck in the ground.
Get a bulldozer? I don't know.
Well, good luck
Just
with
get
that.
a shovel and dig him out. He
I'm coming for you, buddy.
must be one ugly bean.
How big is a Sarlacc, you think?
Dude,
That's a good
must be
question.
huge.
Because I know you kind of like went inside a Sarlacc in Force Unleashed. But since that's not canon anymore, I guess it could be as big as we want it to be.
No.
Force Unleashed 1 should be canon because, I mean, George Lucas okayed that. He was like, yep, this is legit. I don't think he okayed
Yeah.
the Force Unleashed 2, but he did
Think
1.
George
the-
Lucas have to
the entire
okay like
saga.
everything?
Yeah,
for it
in
to
order
be
for it to be
canon?
like legit canon, yeah, it's got to be okayed by George Lucas. Now that it's Disney's got to say it's okay, but I think they're taking whatever George Lucas said was okay originally, and they're just sticking with that.
And besides, Force Unleashed takes place between episodes 3 and 4.
And 4.
And 18.
So if they are actually erasing... What?
You're like, you choked up. You're like, after episode 3 and what comes after 3? 18. Like, yeah, before 4. Come on, man.
No.
You're killing me.
No, I didn't choke up. Come on. So if they are erasing everything after episode 6, it wouldn't make sense to erase Force Unleashed. But they need to finish the goddamn series. They left on such a cliffhanger on the second one, and I really like that. Like, Force Unleashed is really one of the coolest ones, along with the Jedi Knight series, which apparently is no longer real, or, you know, it's been cancelled now.
Yeah, it's
It's
legacy.
No, it's a legend.
What?
Legend.
Man.
Star Wars legend now.
It's
It's
an
such an
L word.
ironic name. Like, yeah, you know all the things you believed and you like. Yeah, they're legends. And then it's like they watch us cry and Kotor, please don't. And then he just flies away.
And then Luke Skywalker is going to
And
wake
gets
up and
blown to
find out that he's
pieces.
in the Matrix.
He's actually Neo dreaming.
That's going to be the ending to episode 9?
No.
That's going to be the
Man,
ending.
No.
please don't.
No. Nope. I
And
will
since
rage
J.J.
quit Star
Abrams
Wars.
is on the direction,
I
please
will
don't
stick
repeat
with
the-
Star Wars Legends, and that's it.
And then
please
it's
don't
going to
repeat the
wake
whole
up
thing
and
with
Mickey
time
Mouse is just going to
traveling.
be dreaming, or he's going to be on LSD or something.
You know, like, oh, let's hop on the Millennium Falcon. And then, you know, oh, a wormhole. What's this? Oh, it's the past. Let's change everything.
Oh,
Don't
you
fucking
Indiana
do
Jones, you look just like Han Solo. No, not funny?
that.
Damn.
No,
Stupid.
that was good. That was good. Took me a
It
while
must
to
be
put
stupid
that-
if Luis laughed at it and nobody else did. Shit.
Wow, go fuck yourself. But yeah,
Shots
that was
I'll fall on my sword for that one.
wow.
Shots fired.
On the
So
page
that's what a
that
Sarlacc looks like.
you sent him. Like the
It looks
Sarlacc
like a
is
fleshlight.
one ugly
What?
mofo.
Did you just say it looks like a fleshlight?
Yes.
How do you know what a
The
flashlight
fleshlight
looks
with
like?
teeth, I would
Enlighten
say.
us.
Wow.
That looks like one of those anti-rape
4chan.
devices, is what it looks like. I
Oh
mean, what do you
my
mean? Your definition of a fleshlight is very different from mine.
Jim, that's
Wow.
exactly what that looks like. Thinking
It's
about
funny
it.
how you guys have a definition of flashlight. questions. you
I don't
you
even know what
took
to say.
at least 5 minutes of your lives to think about this.
It's been like 30 seconds.
I said, well, it's just like I'm trying to be considerate here. Wait,
Okay.
here says that Sarlaccs can mate. That must be one awful sight.
Not attractive.
Think it would make more sense. So, can they move around? Does it say anything about them being able to move around?
There's some
I don't
picture
think they-
here.
Well,
Mating
can they
and
move?
spawning.
Like,
Oh boy.
They mate by spawning?
It says mating and spawning. There's a section of the wiki here that goes into this.
Oh, wow. It says when a male Sarlacc, who starts off much smaller than a female, made contact with a female, the male attached himself to her in a parasitic fashion.
Sounds like one of those
Oh.
deep sea fishes.
The male then injected sperm into spore production sac. So how do
That's-
they get into contact with each other?
Most importantly, how
Yeah,
come
I
we
mean-
don't have a Sarlacc fanfiction yet?
It's probably out there.
Like Sarlacc on
Maybe.
Sarlacc action?
Bestiality.
This is about as close as it gets, I think.
Boba Fett X Sarlacc pit.
Oh god, no. There were some lonely days in the desert.
Sarlacc, the Star Wars version of a tentacle monster.
Boba Fett says, well, it wasn't all pain and misery down there, as C-3PO said it would be.
Oh, la 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 la.
Okay, new topic.
Okay.
I was busy typing the message in the
Derailed.
chat.
Who wants
Uh-huh.
to ask some? We got Quirky went all super excited on our Twitter.
Yeah, we have like 1,000 questions.
He's asked us like 5 million questions.
All right,
Yeah,
well,
also
let's-
asked some stuff.
She asked one, and it's about hoop skirts.
Save that for next week. This is Star Wars week.
So-
No, it is
Um,
related to Star Wars, apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if it's Star Wars related, we'll entertain it.
So
Okay.
do you want me to ask some of these questions?
Yeah,
I'll ask-
let's just start with Gav's one because I really
Okay.
want you guys to explain this one to me because
don't get it.
don't get the reference. It's
Are
like,
you
are you? Well, okay, go ahead, Vic.
okay? This is what she asked. Are you or are you not wearing a hoop skirt?
Hashtag Star Wars.
Hashtag star. I don't get
I
it.
am.
Is she just talking about a hoop skirt?
I mean, do y'all know what hoop skirts are? I'm assuming
yeah.
everybody does.
18th
I may be a
century
boy, but I know what
clothing,
it is.
right?
Okay. Well, I mean, thank God for that much, I
Because-
guess.
The one I googled here, they show up those Victorian era dresses or stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think real hard, and I mean, and the only thing I can think it might be is a reference to Queen Amidala's dress from episode 1. I don't know if that was a hoop skirt necessarily, but it's very big, like a hoop skirt is. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
that's
just
the only
wanted
thing
to
I can
talk
think
about,
of.
Like I confused like swoop racing and hoop in my head.
Jordan, do you know what she's talking about?
No idea. I mean, I would
Alright.
agree with Jim. The only thing I can think of is Queen Amidala's dress in the first episode. But other than that, I mean, it would be stupid to wear a hoop skirt in the Star Wars universe.
To wear hoop
Well,
skirt.
so Gav, my answer is no. I am not wearing a dress.
I'm wearing yoga
I
pants.
don't do that kind of stuff.
I am.
You're wearing a hoop skirt, TJ?
I'm
In
wearing a
my
maxi
dreams.
skirt, but that's so different, and it's only because it's
I'm wearing
100
shorts.
degrees out here.
All right, here's one. What is your favorite quote from the Star Wars universe?
Oh boy, loaded question right there.
I have so many because some of for Revenge of the Sith, I memorize a bunch of the lines because I watched that movie like almost 100 times, and a lot of that was like over the course of a few days. Like I finished watching it, I watch it again. I had reasons. Let's see.
Why
I'm still
don't
trying to
we-
think.
Why don't we pick like one from the original series and then one from the prequel? Unless you have like a favorite quote from the TV show or something.
I'm trying to. I thought that. I don't know if it's not a specific quote, but Oh, go ahead then.
Just because you have the ability to speak does not make you intelligent.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was like when
Qui-Gon.
I finally grew up and like understood the meaning of that quote. I just went, BAM! So there's
This
that.
is why Qui-Gon is loved by so many people, because he really is
Yeah.
just like in your face about shit.
Okay,
I
that was
think
mine.
the quote I like the most is pretty much the iconic Star Wars quote. I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh yeah. I mean that's just like so iconic though. Like you have to like that saying that quote is said in every film. There's just no way to escape it.
And there's always I am your father,
I
which is the correct one because the only
the
time he's
correct
quoted
one.
saying Luke, I am your father, he just says, I think it's no, I am your father. Because the conversation is like, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father? Yes, he told me you killed him or something like that. And he goes, no, I am your father. No!
That's the greatest scream ever.
I have to say, I think that the best quotes from the original trilogy have got to be from Yoda. He says, "Do or do not, there is no try," which
Yes.
I love. I use that so much in my everyday life. Like I'll tell my coworkers that they'll be like, "Oh, blah blah blah. I guess I'll try it." I mean, look, do it or don't. You don't try. You either do it or you don't. And it's
Oh,
I
and the
it's
flashlight
just a
scene.
really good one.
No,
What are you-
mine!
Oh yeah.
Mine. Clank, 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 clank. He starts slapping R2.
That was
Um,
pretty funny.
I love the whole I really like when
Hope not.
Luke is talking to R2D2 in Dagobah. Like I think that The Empire Strikes Back is one of my lesser liked of the movies, except for all of like the Dagobah scenes. Everything on Dagobah is so great to me. I really like it. Now I'm not saying episode 5 is bad, Luis. Don't misunderstand me. I'm saying it's less liked.
okay.
It's a lot of the Dagobah stuff's good, but I like when Luke is talking to R2 and he's like, "Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here," and he pulls the mud out of his like photoreceptor lens, and then R2 just starts spitting out mud. Like I know that's not a quote, but it's
Oh,
a funny
yeah.
scene. Yoda, who says, "Wars do not make one great." I really think that one's a really good line. And when Luke says, "I can't, it's too big," Yoda says, "Size matters not. Look at me, judge me by my size, do you?
Huh? What, bro?
You-
Come at me.
You think if
Yeah.
they
Do you
made
even
that
lift?
quote like today,
He
That would've
doesn't
been
because he
so
can't lift the
joked on.
X-Wing.
Wait, so we need Jordan and TJ's
Yep.
quotes.
Oh yeah, sorry, I interrupted
Um,
TJ. I'm sorry.
I haven't even thought about it. I've been thinking about your guys' quotes. I haven't thought about mine.
Well, does Jordan have one?
One of my,
Jordan can go first.
I agree. Do or do not. There is no try is definitely one of my favorites. But I also have to say these aren't the droids you're looking for. I don't know why, but I just I have used that way more than I've used do not. There is no try in
I'd
everyday
like to,
life. I don't even know how, but I've managed to use that more than anything.
I'd like to point out my shirt today that I'm wearing says, "I'm not the droid you are looking for."
That's amazing. That is
I
Yeah.
thought of my quote.
Rejection.
Woot woot.
I have my quote.
Some
don't know
guy
if you
tried
guys
to
said
hit
it
on
already.
me today because of it. Fucker. Anyway,
Ew.
sorry, TJ.
Sorry. What? Yes. My favorite quote is when Han Solo and Obi-Wan and all of them are getting out of the little hiding places in the Millennium Falcon on the Death Star, and Han Solo calls Obi-Wan a
I was
fool. or
just about to
something.
say this one.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan says, "Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool following him?"
That's a good one.
Yes.
Got him.
Fucking got him. I also like the from the original Leia. Can someone get this walking carpet out of my way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke
And
and
then-
the
And then Han
It's-
turns around and is like, "No reward is worth this," or something like that. He's just like, "No, I can't do this anymore."
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Disturbing.
Yes, that is a good one too.
Yeah. I say
There's
that to
just
my
so
coworkers too.
There's just so many you can't. I think that's one of the reasons what makes Star Wars so great is just it's so quotable.
Yes. The original trilogy had like the best one-liners.
Oh, hands down, yeah, they did. But I think the prequel trilogy, Obi-Wan and Yoda, I think had some of the best liners, and Mace.
Oh yeah.
But Mace
Yeah.
is Samuel
The
L.
Clone Wars,
Jackson, so...
Obi-Wan
Right?
was hilarious. Obi-Wan's
Obi-Wan's
character in the Clone Wars was so good.
He's just like, fucking Anakin, look what he's doing, man. God
Yep.
damn it.
Always on the move.
You always see him just like, his face is like, I'm really sick of your shit, Anakin. Like, can you stop?
It's like, oh, why are you the chosen one?
Bullshit.
Have you noticed the shields are still up?
Yeah,
Sorry, Master.
I'll fix it. Like, god damn it, Anakin. You just need to stop. Alright,
Anakin,
let me
stop! You're
another
gonna get us
question.
both killed. Yeah, I remember the lines. Time well spent.
Okay, this is actually a good one. C3PO or R2D2?
R2.
R2.
Okay.
I'm
figured.
getting my R2 tattoo this summer.
You're getting an R2 tattoo?
Yes.
You're gonna call it R2 tattoo?
R2. R9.
Mind if I ask where?
I think on my
Her
leg.
butt.
Yes.
I was about to say, don't tramp stamp R2.
No.
I will unfriend you.
My best friend and I actually were gonna. Apparently, she wants to get a matching R2 tattoo. So we were like, I was like, okay, where are we gonna do this? She's like, on her ass. I was like, okay, we're doing this. She's like, you're gonna get half of R2 on one of your cheeks. I'll get the other half on one of mine, and when we put our ass together, it's a full R2. I was like, this is happening.
Or you can do like
R2 and
what they do
C3PO.
on Supermarket with juice boxes. Like there's the whole drawing, but still, when you touch butts together, it's still the same drawing. You know, you can't get a full-on R2 tattoo. So
no,
it doesn't
but I'm
look.
gonna get it. I think on my leg somewhere. Or I might get
That's
it
a really
on
cool
my
idea.
other. I might get it somewhere. I have a Kingdom Hearts tattoo, so I might get it on the same arm. I don't know yet.
Holy shit, it's raining hard here. Okay, sorry.
Back to Star
That was
Wars.
ago.
Back to Star Wars. Who do you think would make a great Boba Fett? I'm assuming actor-wise.
Yeah, I guess. I
don't
think
know.
maybe the same guy,
Well,
Timur
Yeah.
something, because
Are they
it
talking
would be
about
weird
his
to have
appearance?
someone else under the helmet. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
could just use the same actor for. Sorry.
Tamara Morrison, absolutely.
Yes, Morrison. That's the name.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it all depends. Like, my question would be, like, is he gonna just be purely under the helmet, or are we gonna see him?
I say if he's just purely under the helmet, that doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But if we're actually gonna be like seeing him, and he's gonna be taking the helmet off and everything, that's gonna change things, and we're gonna have to change actors.
Yeah. Unless he's talking about a younger Boba Fett, in which case they should probably do the kid who did Boba Fett from Attack of the
Episode nine.
Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
because
probably old enough
Grown
now.
up now, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is now, but it all. This is from Corky, by the way. All these questions have really been from Corky, except the hula hoop, the scoop throat thingy. He just says like who would make a great Boba Fett. He's not specific on how age and how much of the face we'd be seeing or anything.
I think Tamora Morrison
I have to Google
would
this.
do it just fine. If they needed to, they could probably make him look younger. But you can't take away that voice.
Is he on The Voice?
Isn't he the voice guy?
I don't
Tamara
know.
Morrison?
think-
Yeah, not for
I thought
Clone
it was a
Wars.
voice
He was
for the Clone
Jango
Wars
Fett,
as well.
and Boba Fett is the clone of Jango Fett.
Right. He does. Tamara Morrison does the voice of Jango Fett in the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game that was on the GameCube and like the PS2 and the original Xbox.
Never played it.
Yeah, he does. He's Jango Fett there. He's the voice actor there. He does Boba Fett in The Force Unleashed, and he is also 3-8, the lead clone trooper commando in Republic Commando. So like, he's really lived up the character of Jango Fett and the clones really well, and I really like that a lot. I like that he just didn't shy away from it.
Okay, can I pick one?
Yeah,
you
we
can.
didn't realize you hadn't. Oh, I mean,
Jim,
a
that's
question. I thought you meant
confusing.
about Boba Fett. My bad.
No. So, who shot first, Han or Greedo or a random stormtrooper because he was trying to hit a bird.
That sounds like a
This
question
is
you
the
would ask.
plot twist. I think it might have been a stormtrooper, to be honest. Now that
No.
you know. No, just kidding.
No.
I don't know. I think fudge. I'm trying to remember the scene. It's been a while since I last watched New Hope.
I think the only reason it's in question is because originally Han shot first, and then George Lucas, when he released, I guess, the remastered movies, changed it because he didn't want Han to look like the kind of guy who shot first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Basically, George Lucas was an asshole.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would be okay with George Lucas going back and changing the story because it's George Lucas, but I'm not okay with Disney doing that crap.
Yeah.
It's
Han shot first.
he did in the original
Yeah.
unmodified version. Han shot first, but I think that because the remastered edition is remastered by George Lucas, I think that is now what's considered canon. So in the canon of Star Wars, Greedo shot first. Which I just watched the episode in Clone Wars that had Greedo in it, by the way, season 3.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's I know it doesn't add much to the story at all either way, but if you look at it as Han being the kind of guy who shot first in Episode 4, it shows his evolution from a scoundrel who shoots people first to a general of the Rebel Alliance by the
Definitely.
end of the episode.
Yeah, I like that
Six.
more.
The scoundrel smuggler, who doesn't give
general.
a shit. Yeah, who doesn't give a shit about anything but money, and in the end he's like the hero general and the cool guy. So yeah, I'll stick with Han shot first, but it's not like I would go on a crusade as people go for like, oh, Greedo shot first. No, Han shot. Fuck that. Just
Yeah, I'm not.
pick
I'll
your
say
side and
I
that's
wouldn't.
it.
To be fair, I've never
But-
heard anybody argue that Greedo shot first.
Yeah, me neither.
I've heard people saying that. By the way, Jordan, can I give you a suggestion?
Yes.
Since you're changing the place for your R2D2 tattoo for your leg, how about tattooing Greedo then on your butt cheek with your friend?
No, he's not even worth it. What do you?
Yeah,
No.
Greedo's not worth it. What the hell, man? I'd rather put Jabba's Kowakian monkey lizard on there.
I'm not
She's
gonna waste valuable ink space on Greedo.
yeah, right.
It's like
At least save that spot for somebody you really hate.
Exactly.
I don't think anyone has ever tattooed Greedo. Ever.
Exactly. Why would I? No, I'm not gonna be the first
Let's
idiot
find
to
out.
do that.
I was about to say, let's go look for tattoos of Greedo.
I got another good
Oh
question.
yeah, they're out
for
there.
you.
Seriously?
Yeah, they're out there.
Please.
But doesn't Greedo just look like a random Rhodian anyway?
Shh, TJ.
Or am I just being alienist?
I mean, I think they all look like Greedo. If you want to be technical about it, there's a Greedo cosplay. Fucking kidding me?
Oh, come on.
Oh my god, I want to get this link. Hang on. Copy image address. Let's see. Let's see if this works out. I don't know if it will. Yeah, it does. Oh
What?
my
What the
god. Oh,
She
good
looks
lord.
like she tried to morph into Greedo's species and just failed halfway through.
I mean,
I'm a trans species. Oh.
I mean, I would never be able to do any decent cosplay, and this one's like, okay, it's it's alright.
But I got another question for you guys.
Okay,
I
another
actually like
question.
this one.
Fill it.
That cosplay makes me want to do this. Just throwing it out there.
Who would pay who would pay compensation for the stormtroopers who died on the Death Star?
Nobody, because stormtroopers don't have families because they're clones.
How do you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Because
You don't
it's
know
that. What about
said.
the Alpha
Yes, it is. It's said several
about the Alpha
times.
Sec?
Yeah, but you'll find out in the show that that's not totally true.
What, the clones?
What about
I
Grand
didn't
Moff
hear what
Tarkin?
Jim said.
What about
I said
his
the
family?
stormtroopers are clones.
That
Nope,
doesn't mean
not
they
all of
can't
them.
have a family.
I don't
Here's
think
the thing.
Palpatine would be down with
No.
that.
being
the
a clone does
remaining
not
clone
equal.
troopers from
Vic,
the
I
Clone
think I
Wars
know what you're
became
thinking of,
stormtroopers.
and that guy
But
kind
after a
of
while,
abandoned everything to do that. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he still
he was
had
a
the
deserter.
option.
you can't have a family and be part of the
Well, I mean,
on
even
Death
the
Star.
Republic
Ah.
Commando clones, some of them. I mean, there's I say some of them. I was going to say a lot of them, but it's really only like 7 or 8 of them. Even they left after they saw the Republic turning into the Empire. So I mean, I'm not saying that they can't, but if you are still a part of the Imperial war machine, you're just essentially organic robots at that point. I mean, I probably the people who paid compensation for like the officers, the people that we saw not in body armor, are probably those people probably have some compensation.
Who paid compensation to all the officers Vader choked to death?
Nobody, because you get nothing. It's in the contract as Imperial officer. If you're choked to
It's
death
in
by
your
your Sith Lord
contract.
overseer, you get no compensation.
You have to know
but-
that that's going to be a possibility if you're joining the fucking. You just have to know that
Yeah,
there's
right?
a possibility
Yeah,
you're
like,
going to
you
get
work-
choked out.
You work on a ship called
Oh
the
my God.
Executor. What the fuck do you expect?
The executor.
In the Star Wars
Oh,
Rebels,
really? Sorry.
whoever that new bad guy is, he better choke some fucking stormtroopers or officers or something for failing him.
Yeah, I
That would
want
be
like
great.
I mean, because when we see Darth Vader for the first time in the New Hope, he's choking some dude. Darth Vader's a bad guy. there's no question, and that's what I want
Like, they're
from
invading
our
the
new
planet,
bad
they might
guys.
be the good guys.
So
He might be, but what?
just to clarify one point, because of Quirky's question, it's because after the Clone Wars, the remaining clones became stormtroopers, but they have some explanations like the Camino ones decided to help the rebels, and they started making clones for the rebels, and that didn't work so well. And so the Empire was like, yeah, okay, we're going to start taking like volunteers and hiring people.
That's from the
And-
Battlefront game, and I don't know I don't know how true
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
like
No, what
it
happened
may
was
not be as canonical, but
all the stormtroopers
also
are still
with-
clones. They just have a wider template. Like they take a couple different donors for clones.
I
That way,
still
that
don't
if
think
one
so.
donor dies, they don't have to keep copying the same DNA.
it's because
Trust me, Luis. When I was watching this Clone Wars, like in my window right next to the Clone Wars, I was like reading Wikipedia articles. Like, that's
I
all I
know
did. Clone Wars
What I'm-
Wikipedia.
what I'm talking about now is because of the new canon or whatever. Because that would be part of the I don't know, the older trilogy or even after Return of the Jedi explanation, whatever. But now they're coming with Star Wars Rebels, and part of the promotional material they released are like those. It's based on the World War posters, telling people to volunteer and join the Empire and all of that. And one of them says, if the helmet fits, something like, if the helmet fits, join the Empire. Fuck it. It has a smart rhyme, I guess. But so there's that. I don't think that later on all of them were clones of some sort.
Well,
I think
you
there
could also
are
look at
people
it as
higher there.
the stormtrooper helmet is the face of the Empire, just like Uncle Sam is the face of America.
I thought Captain America was the face of America. Damn it.
No.
No, he's just some guy that gets all his girlfriends. He leaves all his girlfriends behind in the
He's just
past
some dude in his pen.
and crashes into ice.
Yeah, I gotta stick with the idea that they're clones, save for the officers, because the officers were. It seems they're rarely clones, especially. I mean, even in the Clone Wars show, there's a lot of people who are just not. They're just not clones. So I don't think that the clones were designed to be like high intelligent. I think they were just, warriors to go and fight the wars that the Empire would need them to fight. So I don't think as far as I don't think as far as the individual clones go, there's not going to be any compensation for their families because they have no families. Now the independent contractors, come on, there's some independent contractors because somebody had to clean the toilets.
You don't
Man,
think
imagine
you don't
cleaning
think
the
they had
toilets
clone
on the Death
janitors?
Star.
I mean, I suppose they could, but I mean, why go and clone a janitor when you can get some schmuck alien off of Coruscant and, like, pay him beans or enslave him? So
Because the clones are already
Yeah, that
slaves.
seems more Imperial slaving.
yeah, I was about to say, I
But
think,
the
but
clones are already slaves.
that's true, but you got to have that fear factor, though. You got, as an empire, you've got to have that fear factor, and you got to put it in people that,
gotta
hey,
get
you screw
peace
up,
back,
you're going to be
you
a
know?
slave cleaning toilets on the Death Star.
Even if you don't screw up,
Uh,
you're going to be a slave cleaning toilets on the Death Star.
Very possible.
Well, the whole
If you
point
work
of
in the Senate, you're going to be cleaning toilets on the Death Star.
the whole point of the Death Star, though, like, I understand that whole like fear you'll be cleaning toilets on it or whatever, but I mean, the whole point of the Death Star was like this unbeatable, most powerful ship and
With one
destroyer
tiny
ever
weakness.
created, and like originally, I mean, if you think about it, like realistically, would that hole have really existed except for a plot device to make sure the rebels won? Probably not. Like, I have a feeling they would have known about that weakness and like did a lot more to protect it than just a few turrets on the side of it.
Yeah, the engineers were
Um,
just like, they'll never find
So
out.
like realistically, like the whole thing was kind of stupid and used for a plot device, but I highly doubt they really expected anybody to go in and destroy it. And I mean, if you think about it, like if you were a
You-
slave anywhere, like the place you would want to be is on the Death Star because like it's this planet blowing machine that can
Yeah.
take control of whatever and is feared by the Republic, is feared by the rebels. What better place to be? Because it's going to be protected. It's going to be, they're not, it costs probably billions and billions of dollars to create
Credits.
and construct and
Credits.
whatever.
Credits, come on.
So realistically, if I was a slave, like if someone told me I'm gonna be on the Death Star, it's like perfect place. Like who is gonna go?
I'll be
after the
safe,
Death Star?
relatively
Perfect
speaking.
place. I'm right next to the Empire. I'm right next
And
to the
you
Emperor
know-
and Darth Vader. I might get force choked, no big deal.
And you
Keep your
know
head
what's
down.
the best part about the Death Star?
Keep your head down, or Darth Vader will keep your head up. Oh, I
You
don't
can-
know.
Whoa,
That's
Star.
I don't
okay.
know. That was bad.
With the Death Star, you can pick a lot of chicks. Like, tons of them. There's a lot of room in it.
Is
Never seen a single woman on the Death Star.
I was about to say, I feel like that would be rape. It's like, hey, date me or I'm gonna blow up your planet.
No, that's
Yeah.
not-
I don't feel like you're
Dude,
picking up
don't
chicks with a Death Star. I feel like that's kidnapping. Is
Hey,
what I
hey,
feel
Piper,
like.
or else there's a rebel base on this
Tucker.
planet
Come on,
now.
red versus blue. So, Quirky sent one last question, so maybe we should make this one the last question. And it, Sith or Jedi?
Jedi.
Gray
Jedi.
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 Wait, Jim, you'd be a Gray Jedi?
Gray Jedi, yeah.
Nice.
Because the Jedi and the Sith both have it wrong. That's the problem. It's actually in the most recent Star Wars novel, Crucible. Luke figures it out. It's like, finally, I am vindicated. I was so excited and so happy for it.
Can I choose smuggler?
But light side or dark side smuggler?
Yeah, there's that.
Most
I
smugglers
mean-
just
kinda
want to smuggle. Like I
I just want to
just-
smuggle.
just
let me
wanna
just make
sell
my money. Let me
drugs.
stay out of it.
It's like snuggling, but with contraband and running Imperial blockades
And spice.
and spice.
You know what? I say fuck it. I'll be a Jedi.
And come on, Jim. The question is Sith or Jedi. Even if you were a gray Jedi, you'd still be a Jedi. There's no such thing as a gray Sith. So, Jedi.
Well, I mean, the
But-
thing is that the Sith are they're more broad in their definition. Like, with the Jedi, in order to be a Jedi, you have to be somebody who sticks to the code, who doesn't have attachments, who puts emotion aside for the greater good, and who serves the Republic. The Sith are more loose in their definition. The Sith is somebody who acknowledges that the Force is a tool to be used, and they are not a tool of the Force. And they don't have to serve an empire or anybody but themselves, because with the Sith, the idea is personal gain. I saw a great poster. God, I forget where I saw it now. I saw a great poster that said, it's the cover of Darth Plagueis, the Darth Plagueis novel, where it's Sidious bowing down before the massive head of Darth Plagueis, And
Oh yeah, that's a book cover.
yeah. Well, it's like I said, it's the book cover, but it's got a meme on there that's it says something to the effect of the Jedi feel nothing, how can they be good? The Sith feel everything, and so I feel love, therefore I am Sith. It's like it's a really interesting way of twisting it, even though that's not really what the Sith is about. But
Yeah, the Sith don't really love anybody.
now here's the problem: is that the Sith, the problem with the Sith is that while the Jedi restrain their emotions too much, the Sith pour too much passion into their emotions. The Sith say it's like the two have to be diametrically opposed to each other. There's a reason for that, but they have to be. Is that the Sith, the Jedi would say, love in that kind of unconditional, airy kind of love, where I love everybody and I want everybody to be happy and have their opportunity at living life. And the Sith is like, no, love somebody like you love them like they're your best friend on the planet, or the galaxy. And if somebody takes that love away from you, you go and you fucking take their love away from them, because that's what it's like to have that power, and that's what it's about to have emotion. So it's like I said, they're real polar opposites on the thing. But
So
But
I have a
you
question
know,
for you,
yeah,
real quick. Would you want to just start straight out as a Grey Jedi, assuming that you would be all on your own, like if you had the option, or would you want to like start off as a Jedi, go through the academy, get your training, and then leave the Order?
I would. Yeah, I would. If I had to pick, I would pick that route. I would go as be a Jedi, get raised in the academy, and then when I was older and I realized the truth about the galaxy, I would probably be like, all right, you know what, you Jedi got it wrong. The Sith aren't right either, but y'all
That's
got it
kind of
wrong.
like, I mean, that's kind
That's
of what
Qui Gon.
happened. Yeah, but he stayed with the Order. Like
Right. Well, that's what I don't agree with, because I think the Jedi is too narrow-minded.
He's still kind of stuck with the Jedi, and the Jedi kind of let him do his own thing, and he did, he did his own thing, and they did kind of their own thing. The only thing is that they never. I mean, in Episode 1, Obi-Wan says, like, you could be on the council right now. Like, what are you doing? And Qui-Gon's just like, I don't agree with the council says, but I'm still gonna serve them. I'm still gonna be a Jedi. I'm just not gonna.
Right. Qui-Gon acknowledges, I mean, it's the best way that he can help people, but there's something about it. I mean, as a Jedi, you're not supposed to harbor and covet power, and there's people in the Jedi who want to be on the Jedi Council. Like, I will lead the Jedi Council, but in its own way, that's harboring, that's
I mean,
lusting for power in a weird way.
I don't see anyone though who's on the Jedi Council like that be something like that's what they want. Like,
well, what I mean is that if you were to go to any of the council members and say, prove that you do not covet your position and step down from the council now, they would all say, no, the Force has put me here, and so I am here by the Force's decision, and I will stay here as long as that is. Like, none of them would be willing to say, maybe you have a point, let me not be here right now, and let somebody else take the position.
I would disagree with that. Like, I would disagree with that any of those Jedi would be like, all right, I'm gonna stick here, because the only person you really see who covets the position and like really wants it is Anakin. And when Anakin is put on it without being granted the rank of master, he flips a shit. Like, he is really upset about this. Like, he is vocal about it. He hates the fact that he loves the fact that he's on the council, but he hates the fact that the council put him on without giving him a rank. And
right.
I mean, I cannot see somebody turning to Yoda and being like, look, Yoda, I think you need to step down, and Yoda being like, no, you're wrong. Because,
well, what I mean is, it's like as if they were challenged by somebody from the outside. Because I mean, and the reason I say this is, you look at Knights of the Old Republic 2. I don't know if you played it, but when you, as the Jedi Exile, I mean, you go and you challenge the Council. You come back from the war with the Mandalorians. You're the only Jedi who does, and they say, everything you did was wrong. And it's like, well, y'all have all this power and you did nothing. So while y'all are sitting here meditating, just being happy that you're council members, people are dying out there, so where do you stand to judge me? And as the Jedi Exile, you challenge the Jedi Council. And so, whereas you see the Jedi Council as the characters from the movies, I see the Jedi Council as an overarching theme, like the Republic Senate is. Like, there's no set group of people. That's what I'm saying, is that there's the council members won't won't give up their position until they're ready to give up their position. Like in a way that once they get it, they're not willing to let it go. And expanded universe wise, post episode 6, yeah, like expanded universe post episode 6, there's a story arc where Luke has to do that, where he's challenged by the Galactic Alliance's leader, and she says, if you're serious about serving the Republic, you need to step down as the leader of the Jedi Council. And he goes, okay, I'll do it.
Well, my thing is like, okay, yeah, that's great that you have people on the outside who are asking people who are on the council like to step down from their positions, but like, how do you know those people who are asking the council members to step down? Like, how do you know those people are doing it in the best interest of both the council and the Republic?
I'm not talking about in the I'm not talking about in that context. I'm talking about in the context of the Jedi in their own way, whether they acknowledge it or not. The Jedi in their own way have an arrogance about them, and they have their own lust for their own position, even if they deny it. Because they don't want it to look as a greedy thing. Like the Jedi will say, we're here to serve galactic peace, and it's like, well, what if you gave it up and let somebody else serve galactic peace? They would go, oh, no, it has to be us and only us. Like it's like I said, they're in their own way, they are smug in their position, and they're arrogant about it.
But people come to them anyway
That's
for
Sith
peace.
talk, Jim.
But like,
that's not the Sith talk, man. That's not the dark side talking.
But the thing is like, you could argue that like the galaxy and the universe has placed like the role of peacekeepers on the Jedi anyway. So it's like saying the peacekeeper. So people around the galaxy are like, all right, we're gonna see you as the peacekeepers. This is your position. This is what you do. You go like this is what you do. You do A, B, C, and D, and then they turn around. They're like, actually, we really don't want you. If you really cared about us, you'd go away. So I don't know if it's like, I can see the point of arrogance, but like, is that arrogance that really comes from within being a Jedi, or is that arrogance that plays like socially on them? Because it's like, you can say this about the United States, like there are countries out there who won't get involved with outer conflicts without the United States going in head first, being like, yeah, we're gonna save the country, blah 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 blah. But when we're asked to step down, we're kind of like, we don't really want to, because you guys place us in this position of peacekeepers and the role model of keeping the peace between everybody. So that's the thing, like, is this arrogance purely just a Jedi arrogance, or is the arrogance placed on because of social problem, like society saying like, you're the peacekeepers, you do this, but wait a minute, you're not doing it the way we want you to do it, so step down. Because
yeah, well, you're
if you don't step down, then you're not really peacekeepers for the Republic.
It's funny that you say that, Vic, because you're pulling it from the same like ideology that I am, but you're taking the different slant on it that I am. Like my idea with the Jedi is that they've been in the position for so long, they don't know how to be anything else, and they're not willing to admit that they can be something else. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I mean, that happens in episode 3. They're peacekeepers, and then the war starts, and it's like, oh shit, now like the Republic is placing us in generals. We're not peacekeepers anymore. We're warriors. Like,
right.
We're leading armies.
That's what I'm saying, is that they're not there for. That's what I'm saying, is that they're so arrogant in their own position of like, we have to defend the Republic from a threat that the Republic in its own way created. Like, granted, Sidious went in and manipulated a lot of it, so it's not like, it's not like it was all just because democracy failed. It's because they were manipulated to a significant degree, and I admit that. But the Jedi were ready to say, you know what? We're gonna go to war. Fuck it. It's cool. And it's like the Jedi couldn't step back from that, and they couldn't say, hey, I don't know. I just I guess that's one of the we look at how the Jedi and the Sith are diametrically opposed. The Sith would say, yeah, I covet power and I want power and I'll do whatever it takes to keep it, while the Jedi will the humble brag about it and be like, oh no guys, we don't want power and we thank you for giving us this responsibility. And I guess that's what I don't like about it. I would take the Jedi over the Sith any day, because the Jedi don't go out and wantonly slaughter people for shits and giggles, but I'm not saying the Jedi is bad. I'm just saying that I think that the Jedi and the Sith are both wrong, but if I had to pick, I would go Jedi. I think that was the original question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So after all that,
just about the whole thing about Jedi being put in power positions, I think it's a bit like they go where they're needed. So if people feel the need that they become generals during the Clone Wars in order to keep peace, then okay, fuck it, we'll do it. The thing is, during the Mandalorian Wars, there was just like the Mandalorians came from out of no fucking where, and they hit the Republic so hard and so fast that everyone was disoriented. So they didn't really know what to do. That's why they kept like, "Oh, let's meditate," and didn't do anything for a long time because they were, of course, they were a bit afraid of acting and acting wrong. I think that's kind of the point, but mostly they are put in these positions. And when something so sudden, so difficult like the Mandalorian Wars happen, they don't really know how to act like out of nowhere. But the Clone Wars, for example, they kind of had their pre-warning. It's like, so yeah, Darth Maul kinda like killed a Jedi, and the Separatists are allied with the Sith. So I think we're about to start a war. So they're like, well, okay, it's a war. So let's get our lightsabers and our butts off the chair and do it. Or at least that's how I see it. But well, anyone has anything else to say?
well, I would,
Or...
with the way with the way the events of the Mandalorian Wars went, I would argue with how your interpretation of it went. I mean, the way it worked out was that the Mandalorians started out hitting all these outer rim systems, and the Republic was just kind of sitting on its laurels, like, well, those are systems that aren't part of the Republic, so should we really get involved? And the Mandalorians came knocking, and the Jedi were like, well, it might lead some people to the dark side if we go fight this war. But in the meantime, we'll sacrifice, hundreds of thousands, millions of lives while Mandalorians decimate entire planets like Telos, and just wipe them out of existence. And
So a lot of
we'll figure out whether or not we need
It
to
was-
get involved or not. And it's
Wasn't
like
it Malik? Or, yeah, wasn't it Malik and
Yeah, it
Revan
was.
that
Revan.
decimated
Well, that's
Telos?
what's it. Revan and Malik were like, screw you, Council. We're gonna go defend
Yeah.
these people, and I applaud them for that.
But I didn't think the Mandalorians. Like, I thought it was Malik and Revan that literally bombarded Telos. I didn't think.
No,
it was
that's
Revan.
Terrace. You're thinking of Terrace.
No.
Yeah.
Malik
Telos-
was the one who
Telos-
destroyed.
Malik destroyed
Malik fucked
Terrace,
up
but I mean, like,
Terrace.
in the Civil War, the original one, that, before the events.
It was the
Because-
Mandalorian Wars, and then it was the Jedi Civil War. The Jedi Civil War is when Revan and Malik came back as Sith, and then attacked the Republic themselves after having they defended the Republic
And
against
it
the
was in
Mandalorians.
the Jedi Civil War that Telos was destroyed by Revan and Malik, not in the Mandalorian Wars, right? Because Saul, Karth's
Yes,
leader,
he was.
on them and then bombarded Telos.
Wikipedia.
I was about to say, let's.
I don't
Telos.
think it was the Mandalorians.
Wikipedia it. But I
Yeah,
guess
it's
my
like
my
if you
next
go to the
Go.
kind of okay, just sorry.
no, go.
I think if you go through the chronological order, then there is this point that the Mandalorian started out slowly, kinda, but at the same time.
Okay, no, you're
I
right,
don't know,
Tito.
I still think like no one expected the Mandalorians
Yeah.
to
Just
do
found it
that.
myself.
So I still hold my point that they felt a bit disoriented, but they could have acted faster. Even if they didn't want to just go ahead and start fighting the Mandalorians, at least help the Republic somehow. But
Right. Well, that's
it's
my
kinda
that's
1,000 years past.
yeah. No, I mean that was 4,000 years before the movies. I get it, but I mean my point is that when the Mandalorians hit the Republic, yeah, the Republic is disoriented. Yes, the Jedi were disoriented, but the Republic said, okay, we have a clear and present danger, and we got to go defend our planets. And I mean, the Republic went all in with their military to try to hold the Mandalorians back, and the Jedi Council was just kind of like, oh, I don't know, guys. Maybe we shouldn't do this. And it's
Yeah.
like, come on, y'all. I mean, seriously, like I get it. There's concerns because, and I mean, the Jedi Council had a point because look what happened. Look what happened to Revan and Malik. But Revan and Malik were not corrupted because they went to war. They were corrupted because they chased the Mandalorians back into the Sith Empire, and they were corrupted by the Sith Emperor. Is what happened. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
My thing is like, but the whole role of the Jedi, they were never considered troops. Like they never saw themselves as like fighters who would go in and fight wars for people. They were always like from day one, they were always peacekeepers. They went on peaceful missions. They were essentially diplomats. And now it's like, I mean, the Clone Wars is like they actually went in and did it because I think they possibly could have just learned from the Mandalorian Wars and saw like if we don't do anything, like it will end in a shit show. But
Well, I think
I
there
mean,
were
they still had
plenty
the
of
problem.
conflicts and things in between the Mandalorian Wars and then, because I remember
Oh,
reading
yeah.
something about
Well, I
there was a
mean, you saw what
conflict where
happened.
Hundreds of Jedi were like on a battlefield, and including Count Dooku.
Well, I was about to say,
Some conflict.
I suspect what probably happened is taking a lesson from the new Sith Wars, which was 1,000 years before the movies, which is when you had a very clear and present danger of a Sith army and a Sith empire invading and decimating the Republic. And in that situation, when the Sith are such a clear and obvious threat, the Jedi have to oppose them. They have to step up because the Jedi know they're the only ones who can combat the Sith. You know, there's nobody else who can do that. So I think in that situation, the Jedi may have looked back to 1,000 years ago and said, "We defended the Republic then; we have to defend them now." While in the Mandalorian Wars, it was probably different.
But also too, in the Clone Wars, they knew there was a Sith Lord behind it too.
Well,
There
they
was some type of Lord like behind
right.
it.
I mean, they looked at Count
Was.
Dooku and said, "Okay, Count Dooku's our nemesis." But they at that point, I don't think they had
Darth Maul.
I don't think
Darth-
they had clearly looked at. Well, they didn't know Darth Maul was called Darth Maul. Obviously, Darth is a Sith title, so they didn't look at Darth
But he
Maul and
was a
say,
Dark Jedi of some sort, you know.
yes, they
And he
understand
was
that, but Dark
the
Jedi have appeared
Federation.
throughout history, time and time again. That doesn't mean they're Sith. Like, there's a difference between Dark Jedi and Sith.
But they knew he was a Sith, and in Episode 1, they were like, "There's gotta be another. There's gotta be a master."
Yeah, they were like,
because this guy
Yoda
was
they were
too
asking
well.
whether he was the master or the
Windu
apprentice.
were talking about it.
The fact that he took down Qui-Gon and had the ability to do that, like, that's not somebody who's just called himself Darth and went around like frolicking.
No, I
around
agree
the
with you. I
system.
think the Jedi were absolutely right for being so decisive and defending the Republic in the
But
Clone
in the-
Wars.
In the Mandalorian Wars, were there really any Sith involved, and like, did they see themselves as needed? Because they might have looked at it and been like, "There's
they
no
didn't
Sith
see themselves
around."
as needed. It was
There's-
the Knights that abandoned the Jedi Order to go and fight because they saw that the
But that was
Republic wasn't
after.
winning.
I would say the Council said
What?
that. The
I-
Council said we might
Yeah.
not be needed.
Exactly.
What
And
Vic's
also
getting at
In
here, I
in
think.
general, it was the council that made the decision to go to war during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, and they were also approached. Like, the politics, if you bring in politics, which politics plays a huge role in the Jedi, and I think their decisions, I think politics plays a bigger role than we like to say it does. But also with the Clone Wars, they were approached by the Republic. They were approached by by the Senate and said, like, "We need you. Like, we are on the brink of devastation. Like, the Republic is gonna fall without you. We need you here." And they were brought into the war by the politics of it. They were huge political pawns in it.
They were pretty
and-
much pressured into it
exactly. So it's
directly
like,
by Sidious. It was all part of his plan.
exactly. So why? So like the Mandalorian Wars. I don't know too much about the wars, but like, did the Republic ever turn around and say like, "We need you"? Like,
They
this
did.
is something we're pressuring you to do. Like,
They
Or-
did, because prior to the Mandalorian Wars, there was the Great Hyperspace War, which was with Exar Kun and stuff. So, like, there was that precedent set that the Jedi would come to the Republic's defense. Because, I mean, you look at the Dawn of the Jedi series as before the Republic exists in the Tython system, and it's a different age where the Force users of Tython, they understand both the light side and the dark side, and they see them as one, and they see it as a single entity, and there's no division of Jedi and Sith at the time. and they were called the Jedi, is what they called themselves back then. But that was before the Republic. So after the split and after the formation of the Republic, the Jedi said, "We will defend the Republic because the Republic is what embodies the will of the people. So we'll keep the peace and we'll help, be the the adjudicators for any kind of conflict within the Republic."
Didn't the
What's
Jedi
that?
actually find, like, they went through, like, hyperspace portals before there were actually hyperdrives, and they actually found the, like, it led them to Coruscant, and that's where the Republic pretty much started?
It was Corellia who developed the hyperdrive after the technology was.
Yeah,
I think it was
I think it was the Ratak,
the
or something.
the Rakata. Yeah,
Rakata, they had, like, these hyperspace portals without hyperdrives or something.
right. That's how they would move around things like the Star Forges and
Yeah.
so forth.
And that's how the Jedi got to Coruscant, was those portals, not necessarily an actual ship. I think. I don't know. I haven't actually read the books. I just got this off Wikipedia.
Yeah, I'd have to go. It's been a while since I looked at it. I'd have to look at the particulars. But something I know, Corellia developed the hyperdrive first, which kind of revolutionized the way interstellar travel was handled. And I think Coruscant was found by the Corellians and somebody else, and then from there they started bringing in more and more people, and that's when the Republic was formed, and that's when the Jedi Council was moved to Corellia from Tython, and Tython was kind of forgotten about.
And with that history lesson, we
Star Wars history.
should probably wrap up the podcast. So this was our special May the 4th episode, which will be released a bit later, like a week after. But still, thank you so much for watching. Jordan, thank you for joining us again.
Thanks for having me again.
Yay!
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you.
I'm glad I got to nerd out with you a little bit on Star Wars, finally.
Nice to
Thank
have
you for
here.
showing me those vans, by the way.
No problem. I lost my mind when I first saw them.
Ah, I'm so excited now.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 11th be with you.
Yeah, the
Eh.
11th, whatever.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day,
Oh,
that's right.
Shit, Mother's Day?
It'll be Mother's Day when this comes out.
We were
Okay.
talking about
May the Mother's Day be with you.
May the Mother's Day. May the mothers be with you. As
May your-
hopefully
May your
she won't
mother
bug
be
me
with
anymore.
you.
May the 4th serve you well.
You can, Vic, you can listen to this episode with your mom that day.
That's enough
Oh,
puns.
yay.
This podcast intro and outro music is provided to us by TDBTyler. You can find him on Rooster Teeth by searching for his name, TDBTyler, and looking for his group, Oh the Humanity, spelled O-H, exclamation point, THECOMMANATEE. You can also find more of his work on YouTube by searching for his channels, The Dropped Banana, all one word, and Oh the Humanity.
I always wanted to get a tattoo, but I'm too afraid.
I have 3. They're amazing.
I know, like, one, everybody says, like, once you get your first tattoo, you're kind of addicted. And,
Yes.
but also, too, I'm like, I never know what I want to get.
As long as you don't draw a penis on yourself, I
I'm
think
not
you
gonna draw a
should be
penis on
okay.
myself.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You think Vic's that kind of girl? She's like, I'm not going to get a penis on myself. Luis is like, I don't know. You seem to have a dick fetish. I mean, you might.
Yeah, because
Are we talking about Vic or are we talking about
I'm
Barbara?
just saying.
You know what? TJ brings up a really good point. Are we talking about me or Barbara?
Barbara does have a dick fetish. God knows. That will. I love her on the podcast because she is way more willing than any other woman to just go into the gutter like that.
Penises? Alright, let's do this.
It's like, okay, Barbara, breathe.